So we are going to start new canto, canto 3 of the fourth book, the call to the quest. Now the previous canto ended with the suggestive lines of what is going to happen. The last sentence of the previous canto is a single lamp lit in a perfection's house, a bright pure image in a priestless shrine. Alone, amid surrounding crowds, she dwelt, apart in herself, until her hour of fate. Now, the three or four suggestions have already been dropped here, hints that she is single lamp, then there is no priest in the shrine, and among the crowd there is none coming forward, and waiting for the hour of fate. So each line is loaded with a suggestive idea, and it is that now which is being carried forward. Single lamp, obviously, it means that another lamp should burn now. If the shrine is priestless, without the priest there, the priest should come there and worship the goddess there. And hour of meeting, at the same time, the divine hour of the significant death. All those things are suggested already in that one single line, hour of fate. Now, therefore, the new canto, canto 3, the call to the quest, begins again, taking the trend forward in another manner. A morn that seemed a new creation's front. That is also connected in a way to the hour of fate for which he is waiting. A morn that seemed a new creation's front, bringing a greater sunlight, happier skies, came, burdened with a beauty, moved and strange, out of the chainless origin of things. Now, the lines here are not giving us any immediate clue what they are referring to, see. But you see, I mean, in the background of the whole development, we can perhaps make out what is being suggested here. A morn that seemed a new creation's front. Morn, the beginning of a new creation. New creation would mean that the single lamp which is going to be was burning there will find also along with it another lamp, and it is that which will bring the new creation forward. In other words, the new creation can begin only with the meeting of Satyavan and Savitri, and the hint is already drawn in that direction that this is the beginning. It seemed a new creation's front, bringing a greater sunlight. Obviously, their meeting would mean a brighter day, a greater sunlight, a happier skies. Again, obvious. That is reiterative of the same thing. Light and skies, happier skies, came burdened with a beauty, moved and strange out of the changeless originating thing. Until now, things were not changing in the sense that they were static. Things were not going forward. The progress was not being made at all. So it is in that context of a change which must come that the new dawn, new morn is arriving here. See, I mean, he is already telling us that the meeting of Satyavan and Savitri would mean the beginning of a new creation. And it is towards that the poet is preparing us. Out of the changeless origin of things, they were static until now and they had to move forward. Now, why? Because an ancient longing struck again new roots. This was happening over and over again previously through the ages, but the new morn was not coming. Now it seemed that a new morn will come. Now the point here is why this description, why this canto at all, the call to the quest. Let me give a little background about the story we have in the Mahabharata and how he has introduced the theme and how Shabindu Savitri is going to introduce that theme. In the Mahabharata story, Savitri has grown up to the marriageable age and she must be given in marriage. And as we have been seeing, that no one was coming forward to claim her hand in marriage. So on one particular occasion, what is called Parvani means an auspicious full moon day, full moon night, on that day, some kind of special worship is performed. And Savitri takes a holy bath. She goes to the temple, offers flowers and fruits and things like that to the deity in the temple there. And then when you come back from the temple, you carry a prasad, some present, carry the prasad and flowers from the temple. So Savitri is doing that kind of a thing. She has gone to the temple, she has picked up the prasad, and she goes back to the palace. And then there she gives the flowers and prasad to her father, Ashwapati, he offers it. And at that time, Ashwapati, so to say, realizes that, oh, this girl, she must be given marriage. That is what has happened. And then at that time, he tells her, look, Savitri, nobody has come to claim your hand. So now you are free to choose your own life's partner. You go to different places, wherever you want to go, and find out one who is suitable, who is worthy of your status and worthy of your qualities and all that, and let us know that thing. Be careful in making your choice. Otherwise, it's also like that. And Savitri then sets on a long journey in search of a life's partner. So that is how the story kind of introduces this event. Here, Shebendo is introducing in a different manner the event. The way in which he is introducing it, here in this particular canto, what we are here is suddenly the appearance of Ashwapati. Ashwapati is absorbed in his spiritual bearings, or what you want to call it, his spiritual, and then on one particular occasion he receives some kind of a command, a voice. He hears that voice, a sort of a narration, and he absorbs that thing in his soul. And in response to that, then he tells Savitri, Savitri, you go and find out your own life's partner. It is not Savitri who goes and gives prasad and flowers to her husband, but Ashwapati receives some sort of a command, indication, adesh in his inner soul, and then he tells to his daughter. So now the first part of this canto here, section, is Ashwapati getting absorbed in the trance. And the whole preparation is for that purpose, you see. So therefore, an ancient longing struck again new roots. This ancient longing, it is the seed which is sown in the tapasya, in the soul of of Ashwapati. It is that, you see. And in that sense, he is preparing us from that angle. An ancient longing struck again new roots. The air drank deep of unfulfilled desire. Unfulfilled desire obviously is indicative again that nothing was happening. Savitri is not finding her life's partner, and therefore it was unfulfilled desire of the ancient longing, you see. The high trees trembled with the wandering wind. like souls that quiver at the approach of joy. And in a bosom of green secrecy, forever of its one love note untired, a lyric coil cried among the leaves. He is describing the forest scene. The bird is there, coil, in amid the green secrecy, in the secrecy of the forest, the coil is singing. Now, obviously, this is the indication of Savitri going to find out her partner. This Koel is none but her life's partner, Satyavan, you see, in that sense. And he is residing in the green secrecy, in the bosom of green secrecy, forever of its one love note untired. He keeps on singing, singing, singing through the ages. A lyric Koel cried among the leaves, away from the terrestrial murmur turned, where transient calls and answers mix their flood. King Ashwapati listened through the ray to other sounds than meet the sense formed ear. Now, this is again a very deep line, very awkward line of a different nature altogether. See, away from the terrestrial murmur turn, Ashwapati is absorbed in his own meditation. Where transient cause and answers mix the flood. This is what happens where murmur in our life. We are always mixing up every kind of transient thing, mix and flood. King Ashwapati, in spite of all these activities, King Ashwapati is listening through the ray, to the light, other sounds that than made a sense formed ear. Now this is significant, sense formed ear. Ear which is formed by the senses. It is the necessity of hearing which has given rise to the ear. It is not that the ear hears. It is for hearing an apparatus, a tool is made, that is the ear. So it is the sense. Basically, the psychology is now we have one prime sense, Manasa, and all the other five senses are the products of the main sense, Manasa. So eyes, ears, smell, I mean all the five things, sight, sound, taste, perfume, touch, these are the senses. Now these senses have their birth in our faculty of Manasa. And it is from that Manasa the organs, physical organs are built, and it is they that is all. In other words, it is not the eye which sees, it is the eye which has been created by the sense of sight which sees.
But what does Manasa mean? Manasa, the word.
Manasa means mind, mental, yeah, mental. See, we are mental beings. So it is that mental faculty which creates the organs of perception. Our organs of cognition are actually the product of the mental being. Beyond Manasa, there are other higher faculties, Sadhyana. Means it is by that you have deeper senses of perception. The whole hierarchy of perceptions is there, and here on the physical level, it is the Manasa which is projecting on the physical plane. Sadhyana is, see, for instance, when you are saying, I see an object, there are two things there. First thing is, I am throwing light on the object and then getting something by way of that object, information which is created in my mind. I am trying to hear, I am trying to see it. The other way is, it is the object which is throwing light on you and telling you, yes, yes, I am like this, I am this, I am this, I am this. So the object gives you the knowledge if you are perceptive. Otherwise, you try to gather the object from the knowledge. The scientific method is to gather the knowledge from the object. But no faculty is there with us to see what the object is going to tell us. If that faculty opens up, then we have the truer knowledge of the objective world. So that goes beyond the faculty of Manasa, or the mental being. And it is that which we have to acquire. Intuition, for instance, is one way of looking at it, you see. Revelation, you suddenly get something without your knowing things like that. If you are open, if you are perceptive enough, you suddenly get inspiration, the poets get, the artist gets. It comes from somewhere else. Something is there in you which receives it directly. So it is the object which tells us in the philosophical language. This is what Shebandu has described in great detail. There are two faculties. One is called the apprehending consciousness, and the other one is the comprehending consciousness. You comprehend a thing. You throw something of yours and comprehend the thing. Apprehending is what the object is transmitting to you, that you apprehend, you catch, you absorb. The object is, yes, I am like this, I am like this. That you catch, that you apprehend. And comprehending means you are trying to see and extract something from the object to understand the nature of the object. So, apprehending and comprehending, these are the two faculties which are separate in us. When the faculty of supermind arrives, then it has simultaneously, at once, both the faculties of apprehension and comprehension. It is supermind alone who can do both simultaneously. It tells what the object is, and it also knows what the object is. Yeah, so that is quite far away. But here, therefore, you see, when that kind of a faculty opens, your organs will also be created accordingly. In our present case, it is the sense which has created these organs of perception, you see.
I would have more expected that the senses would be associated with the vital plane rather than mental plane.
No, we are mental beings. You see, the vital has its own perception. Animal, birds, they have their own perception. But as the comprehension and the rationalization of that thing is a mental faculty. Is a mental.
Pure senses?
Pure senses are not with us. Our pure sense is maximum mind, mental, manas. That is the purest sense. Of the manas, the five senses are the instruments. And the physical instruments are these things, you see. So it is that manas which has, when man was created, so to say, it means that it is that faculty which has been built into his biology.
To take the nose of a dog or the ears, which are so much more refined than the human instruments.
Yeah, but then certain faculties can be in certain manner. It's always there, of course. Yeah, but it's only that the wideness, the width, other dimensions which are required, they are not there. You see.
Would that be manas of the dog?
Manas, well, you see, it's the vital mind, which perceives that. Vital mind which perceives that, you see. You know, obviously, they have their own faculties too. But in the case of man, all these faculties of Manasa are fully developed. They are the mental man's faculties. So, therefore, it says sense formed ear. That is a very significant. It is here. It is not something else. It is this ear that also is hearing. You see, brain. It's not brain which thinks. Brain is a repository of receiving thoughts. Thoughts come from somewhere else. That also we'll see shortly. The air drank deep of unfulfilled desire. The high trees trembled with the wandering wind, like souls that quiver at the approach of joy. And in a bosom of green secrecy, forever of its one love note untired, a lyric coil cried among the leaves. Away from the terrestrial murmur, turned where transient calls and answers mix their flood. So Ashwapati is retiring from the active life, you see, active occupation. King Ashwapati, you see, he is using the word King Ashwapati here. He is not simply saying Ashwapati, because Ashwapati is engaged in all the worldly activities in the sense that he has to govern the kingdom, rule the kingdom. He has to look after the daily affairs of the world, of the kingdom itself. Now, by the way, this phrase, King Ashwapati, appears only twice in Savitri. Ashwapati appears 8 times, but King Ashwapati appears only twice. I think I got some notes here. Let's see.